the lights on, and Season 4 of SLR Tier 1 is go! And not getting off the line is Julian. What happened there we didn't see, but he's all the way down the field. Speedy leads into turn 1. Wow just behind, Icewind third. Copy and Astro Boy side by side into turn 1 and out of turn 1 as well. They gave each other just about enough room as they head up towards turn 3. Julian all the way down in P10 after an absolute nightmare of a start for him, and almost 3 wide heading into turn 3. Sending one is Popo down the inside of Light Cruiser. That was a very brave move. He did get it stopped though, but the front 5 all the way clearly, and a little bit of wheel banging between Popo. In a dangerous position out there because he's got so much less grip than everyone around him, and spinning in the far chicane is Pretorius. So he wasn't able to keep people surprised at 24.7. Here goes Wow though, on the outside into turn 3. Can he get this move done? A little bit of a squeeze. But I wonder if it is tire tense. Astro Boy is using what little slipstream there is. Astro Boy is on Speedy. Oh, and there's a slow car as well. Max splits. Thankfully, he did ghost. He's a lap car, so Astro Boy trying to go around the outside. Speedy trying to hang on for dear life on the inside. Oh, running away with this just a little bit because Speedy. Oh, spinning as well! Into the wall goes Wow from the race lead! And he lost.
Julian on Speedy, and he's taking the outside again. The inside is overrated. Here's what Julian is thinking right there. They're going side by side into turn 4. And Speedy still got his
and spinning!
Oh, Julian goes off into the wall, and never mind not the wall, but off the track. As Crofty would
Copy on the inside in turn 3. Copy braking very late indeed on the mediums, and he does have the superior traction. It looks like he's got that one done. So Copy making his way. Oh, and an incident between Speedy and Light Cruiser. Well, he's got at least one penalty as Icewind makes a mistake and loses P2 on track to Copy. Icewind making.
Julian's not getting closer to
Light Cruiser and Popo. Light Cruiser covering the inside. Popo's trying to shove his Force India Racing Point into that corner, and he's at the front of the train, and he takes the win in Australia, the first race of SLR Tier. That was last week. This is this week. It's time for Bahrain in Tier 1 of SLR Season 4. And we got all of the usual suspects on the grid and the usual suspects in the commentary box as well. It's me, Terra, and alongside me is Mr. Thimo Brown. How's it going, Thimo?
Hello. It's going great, and I'm looking very much forward to this race because last race threw up some questions like will Julian, if he continues to drive, because he's only a reserve to my knowledge, will he continue being the quickest boy out there, or can others throw things his way on other tracks? Bahrain is very much another track, and we've got a lot of quick boys. Jensen is here giving his well, not debut, but his first race of the season, as he had to sit out at Australia, where Wow warmed the seat for him. Now he's playing seat warmer to another driver. I don't know who the second Williams is, but he'll partner Copy in Williams today. So Wow and Julian, the very quick reserve drivers from last week, are here once again, and Jensen is here, Copy is here, Astro is here. This looks like it's going to be good, and I am absolutely thrilled to witness it once again.
Yep, absolutely right. I think the one little bit of a downer for this Bahrain qualifying session is that I think we're going to have to wait a little while before we see any serious laps, because the strategy today is a one-stop medium to hard for most drivers, and predictably a lot of drivers have chosen the harder set of tyres, and they are going out on hards on their first run. So I think we'll see effectively a one-shot qualifying for a lot of drivers in this race. We might see a few surprises at the front of the grid. We've got Bants in a Ferrari here, who I think is the first to go out, maybe not the first to go out, but one of the first to go out on a proper lap. He is on the soft, so we might see a good time from Bants.
Yeah, he stressed that he hasn't played any F1 in the entire decade, and what does that really mean? We'll see. Maybe he's rusty, but normally Bants is a very quick boy, even though even if he doesn't put in a lot of time, and he hit the curb there, it's very much first You should munch the first curb, you should munch the second curb, and the third curb tries to kill you.
Oh yeah, that is
so
the death
stay
curb.
away from it.
You cannot hit the outside curb there because then your car bounces, and if an F1 car bounces, well, that's bad things tend to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of bad things, I'm a professional commentator, and therefore I forgot to get some water.
Okay. Well, we will let Thimo get some water, and we will inform everyone once again that if the stream is, like if the audio balance is off, let us know. I think I fixed it from last week, but we will see about that. I don't exactly know. I did also up the bit rate, and hopefully it's a little bit better than it was last week as well, because it was a little bit blocky in places last week. Bants crosses the line. He does a 1 minute 28.3, which is actually a fast lap. He's what 2/10 off his time trial time. Miloš has gone across the line in the mediums. He's done a 29.3. Jensen so far is the fastest of the soft runners on a 29.2, and Mr. Ocean Chief P2 on the grid right now on the softs with a 28.9.
Okay, what the hell happened while I was gone? Why is Ocean? I guess Ocean's in softs now.
Yeah, he is. Everyone else is on either hards or mediums. Bants has done
hard time. Oh wow.
for Jensen. Yeah, that's a good lap. Oh wow, has done a very good lap as well. 20.
That's the
28.9.
moment. Say the line. That lap was wow by wow.
So we'll see who else is going to go out. Popo, I think, invalidated on his fast lap, so I think he will not set a time in this first run. Interesting tactics by Miloš, who's gone out on the mediums first of all. Maybe thinking about a hard run a little bit later. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll check the sound in a second.
So yeah, it's going to be a little while, I think, before we get people doing any serious laps. And most of the serious laps, I think, will be medium laps at the end of the session. Which, as I mentioned before, might mean that we see a couple of unfamiliar faces towards the front of the grid.
The sound seems to be wonderful for me.
Fantastic, that is good news. So, audio balance good as far as Thimo is concerned. And as far as Molio is concerned as well, which is, thank you for the feedback, that's really good. So Julian, so I dropped my phone, which isn't the best thing to be doing during a broadcast. Julian on a fast lap, he's coming towards the end of it at the moment.
Bants is, he's put on mediums. Is he maybe having a little regret about not informing himself about the strategy, or what's
Well, I
this
don't
all
know.
about?
I mean, I think the situation for Bants is that if everyone does the medium to hard strategy, then he's going to be at the front of the grid, I assume, as Astro Boys crosses the line, does a 28.8, as Julian is about to cross the line as well, he does a 29.4, so he's not pushing terribly hard. He ran most of that lap in high rather than hot lap. But the thing about Bants is that, like, if you're in the front 2 or 3, even if it means you have to two-stop, that might be a good place to be on those soft tyres, because it means you can run something like 2 sets of mediums or soft medium towards the end of the race. And
Yeah, I agree.
maybe you can get away with that and get yourself a good position out of the traffic.
The question I was wondering about is why is he going on mediums now after he set a soft time before? I don't quite get that.
That is curious, isn't it? As we see,
It's weird. I don't know.
Pretorius and Light Cruiser both doing 28.8s as well, so there's a little gaggle of cars around the 28.8, 29.0 mark, all of them on the hard compound of tyre. And of course we would expect those drivers to go out on the mediums and improve their lap times, but just as a general showing of how quick people are, it seems like the field is relatively evenly matched.
One thing I wanted to... oh, wow.
Yeah, wow,
No,
indeed.
That's not intentional. It's incredible. It's like... I wish some idiot would drive an SLR, not only to SLR. I would like to commentate on a race with some idiot in it, just because of the fun fact his name gives to you when you try to say a normal sentence and suddenly his name is in it. What I was going to say is going to give a shout out to Hueni. I don't know if I'm butchering that pronunciation, but he is the boy in the second alpha, and he is currently in P14, but he's on hards, and he's officially a Tier 2 driver, or at least he was, and after only one race of the season, the season opener in Australia, he has decided to turn his line off. He already got a podium with it in Tier 2, I'm pretty sure.
I think he won the race, didn't he? From the back of the grid?
No. A contender one, but when he was on the podium.
Okay.
And I think from P11 or something, so he is still quick, and I'm very
oh, you mean the Bahrain race? Yeah, sorry, I was talking about the Australia race.
Yeah, the Bahrain race.
So he drove that with line. Yeah.
But he didn't win in Australia either.
Didn't he? Okay.
Contender won that too.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But I think Quinny won on track. It was penalties. And anyway, yeah, I want to give a shout out to him because he really didn't be there or thereabouts and yeah, I'm going to turn it off maybe soon, but I lose so much pace. No, he's just turned off and tried his best to get to terms with it. And it looked on Thursday, it looked like that was going very well.
Yep, absolutely. We got
and Copy
with a very fast lap, 28.3, almost matching Bants's soft lap time.
That's one. I mean, if you take the calculation that one tire compound step is like 0.7 seconds, that would mean Copy is like 1.4 seconds quicker than Bants. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, something like that. That is an impressive lap time from Copy. We got Ocean Chief on a fast one. I'm following Ocean because this is likely to be a meaningful lap for him. He's on the soft tires, and he was just over a tenth up in the first sector, so we'll see if he's improved further in sector 2. He's half a second up in sector 2, so this is a good final sector. He could be troubling that pole position time at the moment of Mr. Bants.
Yeah, I wonder where he'll end up. Last turn looked tidy to me.
Yep, certainly did.
A good acceleration on the straight DRS open, comes across the line, and it is P3 for the moment.
Yep.
Between the two Williams, so not quite there with Bants, but less than a tenth of a second off the Ferrari driver.
Yep, 28.4 for Ocean, so he, as you said, just a little bit behind Bants at the moment, but a very creditable lap from the Ocean man himself. As Tipsy crosses the line and goes P14 on the mediums, he's doing a 29. He did a 29.3 just now, so he'll probably want to improve on that, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think so. Comparable, the other medium time is currently in P5, set by Toto, 28.6. So Tipsy might want to step his time up a little if he wants to get close there. We'll see.
Yep.
Is Icewind's missing from the grid?
He's not racing, is he? Yeah, I didn't realize that until just now either. But yeah, he's not racing. Hueni is partnering Ocean Chief instead in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that's how I noticed. I must say, Ocean Chief's helmet is very much looks like it's supposed to be in a Renault. And not in a
yeah, a little bit, doesn't it? It's pretty bright
like
yellow. Yeah, it does.
I think he drove a Renault in SLR last season, didn't he? And he also definitely drove a Renault last season in Sorel. So
yep, that sounds right to me. I certainly do remember Ocean in a Renault, but yeah, yep. I guess he just hasn't changed his helmet, or maybe he likes the contrast.
Yeah. Enough fashion talk. And also, I'm sorry, but Tipsy's helmet looks very weird in a non-orange car. It's unusual.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah.
So who's on a quick one? Let's
Bascodinho, yeah. No, I think he is, because he's got his hybrid turned up all the way.
I just.
It says outlap though, so I don't know. Maybe he invalidated or something. It just switched to outlap, having been on hot lap. So maybe he's on a fast one, maybe he's not. Who knows? We will find out in the fullness
Like
of time.
Like Cruiser probably is.
Yep, Light Cruiser looks like he is coming towards the end of his hot lap. He's half a second up, so this might be a provisional pole position time for Light Cruiser. This is seemingly his fast run on the mediums. He got a little bit squirrely out of the last corner, but he does indeed go top of the standings on a 28.2 on the mediums, which is a reasonable lap, but I would expect pole to be in the 27s.
Okay. Also, hello to all the people in chat. Is Clara?
Clara, I would assume, is Clara, yeah.
Probably,
So
yeah.
welcome
Also
to-
rooting for Bants, so
Welcome
there
to
you
Clara.
go. Also, I am a proper villager. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So, WoW is on the lap now, yeah.
Yep, he is.
So,
We'll follow WoW around because, yeah, this is likely to be his very fast lap into the right-left. He's put his hybrid down to high for these couple of corners so he doesn't run out at the end of the lap. Into the hairpin he goes, got good traction through there.
yeah, looks very good to me. He even managed to touch the death curve without being obliterated. That's the force he possesses. And that looked good as well through the double left-hander. That is one of the worst sections on the F1 calendar to drive, I think.
Yep, lots of people don't like that.
It's not a lot of fun.
Very challenging corner. As WoW now in overtake mode through the second sector, and he is 2/3 of a second up, almost exactly, as he goes through the penultimate corner. Ran a little bit wide, and he invalidated, in fact. So he slows down.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep, so he's going to go for another run, I think, on the mediums. And yep, indeed he is. He's got just about enough battery to do it. Pretorius goes fastest on a 28.1. That's on the mediums as well.
Good times coming through. So, WoW with another attempt.
Yep, Astro Boy's on a hot one too.
Winnie is going to go into a hot one as well. Yeah, Astro. Julian is in the middle sector, back straight, actually. Jensen will come across the line, and he'll put it on provisional pole. 27.7, so that's a very quick time. That's 4/10 up on Pretorius.
Yep, very good lap indeed from Jensen. Astro Boy's on a hot one then, our very early stages championship leader, having won in Australia. Through the second sector he goes. There's a slow car up ahead, don't know who that is. He's keeping well out of the way. Mr. Toto staying to the left. Astro Boy's into the fast right-hander. As Julian goes fastest on a 27.5. Very good lap from Julian. There he is, just crossed the line.
Bants will not be happy. Looks like others will also demote him.
Yep, so he might be out of the top 10. He might have cut the corner there, Astro Boys. I don't exactly know. And yep, he's pitting. So he invalidated. And that is the end of Astro Boys qualifying, unfortunately. So he's not going to be starting towards the front of the grid. He will get the benefit of fresh tyres, but he's going to be in the back half of the grid and in the lap of the gods as far as a clean run through the first lap is concerned.
Everyone's flying around right now. I don't know who's the next to set a lap. So Julian obviously has, Jensen as well.
Hueni goes 8th on a 28.4 on old mediums, on 3-lap old mediums.
That's good.
Yep, it is.
Less than a second off Julian on freshly turned off line. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
No, that's impressive. We got Copy on a hot one as well. He's just over
Popo?
a 10th
Okay,
up.
Popo puts it in 6th.
He's on softs. And so is Tipsy, so Tipsy goes 6th on softs as well.
No. Popo is on mediums.
Really?
For me, he is, yeah.
His best lap.
Visually
Oh, right,
and
yeah.
on the head.
Okay, it says fitted soft, but he just did that lap, and it says best is mediums, so I guess he is on
that
mediums.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Copy's about to
Let me
cross the
check.
line. Didn't see what his second sector was.
Danny in 6th, demoting Tipsy and Popo.
Copy pole.
Copy in
Oh, P2.
second.
Wow.
And that is, I was going to count 0.032. Yeah. Math is my strength.
Copy does a
Just behind
27.5.
Julian, let's
Yep.
settle for that. And Light Cruiser is doing funny off-track things. At least he has done that. Toto coming through the final corner. Cursed also approaching it. I don't know if Cursed really wants to push to get into the top 10. No, he doesn't. He abandons, and Toto doesn't improve. And Ocean's
Who did we just
qualifying
miss?
session
Was
is
that
over.
was that
His
Pretorius
purpose
or Bascodino P7? That was who crossed the line. So
Nice.
Bascodino on the softs, yeah. So he's in the top 10.
Popo looks like he's absolutely pushing. So he tries to improve on that lap. Let's see if he can. Because it's only Push and him who are still on laps, I think.
Crosses
And
the line, he
Popo
does
indeed.
improve.
He does improve. Tires are going to be a bit older, but I don't think he'll mind that. He'll trade that for like 4 starting positions.
Yep, absolutely.
Copies.
Danny on a hot one. I think Julian and Copy probably... Are they on a hot one still? Oh, Copy is, but he's out of battery. Julian isn't. But
Yeah.
Danny about to cross the line. He was
Danny.
600ths up, so he can improve a lot of places if he just improves by 10th. He
Oh,
does!
wow, that was
Good
so
lap.
close as well. Nice. P5 goes to Danico. And that's,
Yep.
I mean, not that particularly, but Bants has just about been pushed out of the top 10. And that push jumps into the top 10, so Tipsy's out as well, out of the top 10. So he gets free choice of tires.
I
as
think
well
he'll,
as
yeah, I
Bants.
was going to say, I think
They'll
he'll be
be
very
happy with that.
pleased. I think he'll be very pleased to be pushed out of the top 10 there.
Yeah, it worked out just about fine for him. And Tipsy and Bants alongside each other, that sounds like a plan. I know, I think in the first Bahrain race, of like season 1, and SLR, they came together here, or almost did. Like they had a fight, I remember that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. One thing we mentioned a while ago, but haven't mentioned for a little while, is that Astro Boys is going to be starting this race in P17. So he will he will get free tire choice, but that is not where he is going to want to start this race from.
Making a bet. I'll open Discord and he will have written something about it.
Well, he's written
Oh,
something
never mind,
in. He's written something
chat.
in chat. Why do I have to
damn
bottle
it.
always when I'm on a good lap? That's unfortunate for him.
Because it's a bad lap at the point where you bottled it.
So Julian on pole, just as he was in Australia. Hopefully, he's allowed to get off the line properly this week.
Oh no! He got both laps invalidated. That's... Oh no.
Oh dear.
I don't know where Icewind is HD Gamer. I am unaware of that.
Yeah, I don't
do
know.
not
Unfortunately, he's not racing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm missing him.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
should be there. He's a quick guy.
Yep. I would have liked to have seen him in that little scrap. So we are about to get the formation lap underway then, and I think this is going to be an interesting one. We got several drivers, I think, with a shot at winning it. I think Astro Boys has probably knocked himself out of contention, barring something incredible happening. But certainly there are several drivers at the front. Copy, Jensen, Julian, of course, and a number of other drivers. Wow, Light Cruiser, Danny even, right at the front.
I never dared to disrespect the lap 17 safety car.
Lap
That
17
will
safety car,
totally
yeah, I
happen.
don't know.
That will totally happen.
Let's hope not, because,
Oh,
yeah,
I would like that.
we don't want to, I don't know, I mean, maybe it'll be fine.
Well, not because like I of course want Astro to win. It's just more of a chaos thing.
Yeah, it shuffles things around a little bit. It certainly does.
Yeah, wonder who's going to have the upper end today at the upper end. Copy or Julian, Jensen maybe. Wow, is also certainly in contention, and Danico has kind of surprised me as well with a very competitive qualifying. I mean, he's always a quick boy, but he seems to have found his place between the front midfield and the very top boys.
Yep, I think that's right. I mean, he was quick last week as well. He did the same time as Astro Boys in qualifying, but this week, thankfully, his computer decided not to turn itself off.
All right, that was a thing. I
Yep. So,
you know that you just jinxed him for the race.
yeah. And yeah, Kitsune in chat says, what a gamer, absolutely. Danny
Yeah, it
with...
is
Oh,
true.
having said that, he's provided us
Did
with
he
some
just-
entertainment in on the formation lap, because yeah, he has looped it in the penultimate corner. He's rejoining now just behind his teammate. So,
I tapped back in and I saw Danny ghosted, slow at the side of the track, and was like, oh no.
yep, I saw him go off in the background, so that's what happened to him. As the cars get ready to get us underway here in Bahrain. 29 laps. Medium to hard is what we expect the strategy to be. We've got Bascodino on softs. He might have to two-stop unless he can stretch. But certainly, as the rest of the grid does form up.
You do the start and I'll have a look at the rear
Okay,
field.
will do. So, let's see if we can get a camera angle. There are the front four then, as we see. There'll be a camera eventually. There's the camera. And we're about to get underway in Bahrain. We are... Go! And a jump start for a couple of drivers. I think Danny was one of them. Light Cruiser was one of them as well. Danny got a fantastic start, but that's because I think he jumped it.
Cruiser doesn't have a penalty, I think. Or
No, Light Cruiser does have a penalty. I saw it flash up as we're three wide into
Danny
turn one. Danny, Julian, and Copy, all of them together as Julian manages to force his way past and into the lead of the race. Copy with Jensen just behind, not quite leaving enough space on the outside. Jensen is alongside though into turn three as they head up. They're three wide behind as well, and Light Cruiser gets himself the better of that one. Wow, also looks like he's passing Danny as Bascodino unfortunately goes down the field. We're still side by side though between Wow and Danny in the complex and into the hairpin, and Wow does indeed win that one. I think Danny is going to have to serve his drive-through along with Light Cruiser at the end of this lap.
I didn't get a drive-through shown for Danny, so you might be fine.
Okay.
Oh, penalty and warning.
Oh, and spinning is Push in the double left-hander. That was
no.
unfortunate. There was some
Wow,
flying
you
front
almost
wing
rejoined
behind.
You almost rejoined into Astro there. That was quite spooky.
Yeah, there was some front wing flying behind as well. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Astro Boys. No, his front wing seems to be okay.
I was running on board with Astro throughout the starting phase.
Okay.
And he didn't hit anyone here. So someone lost their front wing. I don't know what happened to him. I had suspected that Danny might have just accidentally started when Light Cruiser started, but it probably was a jump start. Let's see if he'll pull into the pits.
Light Cruiser pits.
Along with Light Cruiser.
And so does Danny,
so
yeah.
Unfortunate.
So it was the two of them. And I think Light Cruiser reacted to Danny. So it's unfortunate for the two of them. But they will have to serve a jump start penalty. It was a long hold on the line. We saw that.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunate for the two of them. Julian, though, trying to make a break. He is pretty close to being out of DRS range at the moment. Copy under pressure from Jensen for P2 at the moment. And a little bit further. Sorry, go on.
I was hanging a little bit behind them, as well as Pretorius. There's like small little gaps. It's not as much of a gaggle of cars as we had in Melbourne, but that was really hard to beat. Jensen, I think has got better pace right away than Copy. At least it looks like it to me. Maybe with DRS he'll be able to do something about it and promote himself to the main challenger of Copy, of Julian for the moment.
Well, the issue that Jensen's going to have is that Copy will also have DRS. He's well within range of Julian. He's done a good lap here by the looks of things. So Jensen just biding his time at the moment. He is conserving some of that ERS, which is what you want to see at the beginning of the race. Everyone in the top three certainly with around about the same amount of ERS.
Popper's been saving a lot, the most probably, and he's within range of Pretorius, but Pretorius is not within range of Bao, so that's probably the first pair of drivers that might shake things up. Tipsy Bob has to pit.
Did he jump the start?
To the pits. No, don't think so.
Or did he lose his front wing?
The Renault crew is ready for him, and I'm not shown if he gets a new front wing. But okay, he's being held. Yeah, he's getting a new front wing.
Okay.
So he came together with someone there.
Yep. So that's
Kitsune can tell us.
That's the answer as to who lost their front wing on that lap one incident in the double left-hander, I think. I think it was Mr. Tipsy Bob, so unfortunately that's probably the end of his race as far as at least scoring points is concerned.
Fortunately, I agree. That's kind of sad. I wonder if Danny and Lycris will be able to recover. We've got yellows out in Sector 2.
Don't know what the
Right.
yellows
Oh,
are
it's Max!
for.
It's
Oh
Max
no,
Schultz.
Max has gone again.
Ah,
Unfortunately, had a
yeah.
qualifying ban from last race, so he started at the back this race. But
He
unfortunately for
did.
him,
Oh.
yep, he did.
By
Unfortunately
the
for
looks
him.
of, like, judging by where he was parked, I assume he hit the death curb in Sector 2.
Yep, I think that's quite likely.
Because he was parked there. So, at the front, according to my time sheet, it is 0.7 seconds between the top two, and then around the same between P2 and P3, but it's the quickest lap by Copy, so Copy has obviously closed in a little, and now it looks like Copy is actually being the quickest out of the top three as Jensen overshoots turn 1 in quite a way. In Bahrain, it's not that bad if you overshoot it because you get a good run, but that looked very off track to me. Maybe you got a warning for that even. I don't know if it was on stream, but
Yeah, no, we saw it. It might well have been a warning.
there's driver shuffling in the background, I think.
And
Oh,
Blessed has
Kirsty's
gone.
gone!
What happened to Blessed? He is
No.
not hashtag Blessed today. Unfortunately, we have a
And
safety
The
car.
safety car's out!
We have a safety
Kirst
car.
brings out the safety car. He crashes in lap 4. They don't know what happened, but yeah, that was quite some movement.
Oh
And
no, Tipsy. Oh dear. What a disaster for
Crash-
Tipsy.
Crashgate didn't work out for Renault this time, did it?
Although, to be honest, he was already at the back.
Yeah, it doesn't change
So
anything.
it probably
really.
is fine. But yeah, Milosh crashes, brings out the safety car.
I always
that's
see
gonna-
Renaults at the side of the road.
That's going to shuffle things up a little bit.
Yeah, but I think he was. Where was he? It was like around Push and NJJ. if I'm
Yep,
not
somewhere around there,
mistaken.
P12 or P13.
Oh
But
man.
not anymore, unfortunately. He is our first retirement from this race. We're down to 19 runners. We got the front four in formation, as you would expect, and I would... I wonder if anyone's going to pit here. So the medium runners probably can't pit and stay
No,
on
they can't. That doesn't
a
work.
one-stop strategy. So I wonder if anyone is going to pit. It looks like
Yeah, they will
everyone
pit, but probably
is. Not everyone is. Copy did not.
No, wow.
Oh, Wow did not. Sorry. So yeah, Julian, Copy, and
Uh,
Jensen did. Pretorius is as well. Is everyone else going to pit? Because that's bad news for Wow if everyone else pits. As Bants does the big overtake on Popo into the pit lane. That was pretty dank.
Yeah, I think they're going to. Oh, so Bants is going on softs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think.
All no, they're going
No,
on
there's a
hards.
bunch of people doing different things. So several drivers going on the softs. They're going to be two-stopping in this race. A couple of drivers where Jensen gone on the mediums, Quenny's gone on the hards, and Copy and Julian both on the hards as well. So maybe they think they can stretch the hards until the end of the race. What is Astro Boys doing? That is the question. Astro Boys is staying out, so he's going to try and one-stop, but he does have track position now. He's up to P4.
Yeah, I think that's right for him because he will just do his one stop as you just said until like lap 17, and after that I think the tires are fairly gone. I don't know if it will pay off for the others if they try to make it to the end of these tires. But 24 laps on Bahrain sounds like quite a stretch to me. You have to be very smooth. Maybe Copy can do it. I think he is a very smooth boy. Obviously we haven't seen Julian drive a lot, so I don't know about him. Just know that Copy's good at stretching tires. Maybe this has brought Astro right back into contention because 4 laps more of tire wear don't seem like too much of a pace difference at the start. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I mean, one of the hallmarks of great drivers is the ability to change your style to match the circumstances. And I just wonder if Julian and Copy are going to try and be extra smooth on those tires to try and get them to the end of the race. It is going to be a long stretch. It's what, 20? It's going to be 22 laps or thereabouts, maybe 23 laps. So I think the safety car is going to come in at the end of next lap. So a 23 lap stint on the hards is probably doable, but a little bit marginal. So it's a question of whether they can keep the pace up while looking after the tires and stretching them that long.
Yeah, I mean there was obviously a reason why people didn't want to go softs too hard, so they will fall off at the end if they wouldn't. Softs too hard would just be a walk in the park. Has Tipsy served this drive-through?
No, I don't think he can until it's green flag racing, so he is going to be...
Oh no.
I think he is going to be off the back of the field, unfortunately for him, so...
yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I think he's missed his window to pit now as well, so he's going to be staying on the medium tyres. I think it would have been a free pit stop if he'd gone for it, but decided not to.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
So the front five at the moment are cars that have not pitted. It's WoW, Toto, Ocean Chief, Astro Boys and NJJ. All of them either on the medium or the hards, and all of them will still be able to one stop. And there's just the question mark over the people who have put the hard tyres on. There are 4 of them. In fact, there are 5 of them. There's Julian, Copy, Hueni, Basco and Danny, who's, I guess, back in this race now that the jump start penalty has effectively been wiped out, and so is Light Cruiser. So we saw Light Cruiser as well coming into the pits just now. He's put the hard tyres on, and maybe that was maybe that he pitted a lap later just to make the tyres just a little bit better for the start of this stint. Doesn't have to do a lap behind the safety car. So maybe they can go to the end of the race as well, Danny and Light Cruiser. So this is going to be really interesting. The safety car will be coming in at the end of the lap.
I'm very much excited to see what's going to happen here, because as you said, there's so many different approaches to this, because this has been quite the unexpected situation, like an early safety car but not on lap 1, and also it's very ambiguous what is the right call. I don't think anyone actually knows, so and we'll find out, and that's pretty cool.
Yep,
so,
we certainly will. Lots of people on lots of different tyres.
NJJ and Julian have already traded positions. That doesn't sound legal to me.
I think Julian will have to lift, and he does before the
he
line.
did. And that will give Copy the edge on him potentially. This is probably for... Well, no, it's not for provisional race. They both overshoot, and then Julian goes into Astro Boys! And that's Astro. I think Astro lost the front wing, and Jensen goes through, and he's taken 4 positions. Jensen is into P4. Incredible scenes. Julian's off track. He's down into P7. What a restart that was. Astro will be Pete after that. I think he's lost. Yeah, he's lost an end plate. His right end plate.
Well, so what happened? Did Julian rear-end Astro Boys?
No,
because...
he drove into his side because,
I
he
see.
was threatened by Copy. Copy pressured Julian into absolutely overshooting turn 1.
Oh dear.
He went into Astro, so that damages Astro. Max Spiltz is fighting with Popo. Bants kind of in contention as well. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Oh, and almost 3 wide into the double left-hander. That was 2 McLarens, and yeah, very tight in there. Tipsy is in there too. Bascodinho and Light Cruiser trying to make their way through the field on the softs. This is a frenetic restart, but yeah, Jensen is the big winner. He's on the mediums, of course, and he is the lead runner now of those that have not yet, or those that did pit rather. So, so I was going to say, so the front 3 are all out of DRS range of each other. WoW, Toto and Ocean, but Jensen now making his way through. He's got Pretorius right behind him though, and Pretorius is on the soft, so he's going to have to defend from him.
Beautiful move by Jensen on Ocean Chief. He made that look very easy, and okay, that was weird. His car's body language looked like it was going to go into the pits for some reason. Pretorius also got Ocean Chief. Now wait, is DRS already a thing?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Have to wait another lap.
Pretorius also passed, and there's some funny games going on with Astro and
yeah, Popo passing Max, Astro. Yeah. Oh, and Astro just tapping the back of Popo there as Popo finds his way through on the soft, so he's up to P8, but yeah, he's got to do a lot of work on those soft tyres to make them worth it. We've got Copy now behind Ocean. He's going to be looking to do something there. Hueni and Max Splits also fighting, and Jensen is already on the back of his Dutch compatriot Toto and teammate as Bants passes Astro Boys. Bants, another one on the soft tyres. Astro Boys with that damage and also on the old hard tyres is going backwards.
Like a stone,
yeah.
Because he'll have to stay on these tires for another 10 laps, and I know from experience that Astro's setups are quite understeery, and that will not help. That he's lost a bit of front wing now. Toto's kind of in trouble. He's running wide, and now Pretorius down his inside, but Toto closes the door, so
yeah,
stays ahead.
Toto got loose in the long right-hander. He did save it, but yeah, he went wide as a consequence.
Touched the second death curb. This track has two very bad death curbs you don't want to be hit in. And now Julian is on the back of Copy and Ocean Chief. I think Copy will have Ocean Chief here. No, he doesn't have DRS yet. Will only be something for the second straight. But Ocean Chief kind of forces Copy's line. And that makes Julian get very close, and he's already alongside as they open DRS, flying towards turn 4. Julian down the inside, and he's done it. He's in P6, stick the landing after that pretty well executed maneuver on Copy. So Copy down in P7 again, and Jensen, he'll be having a little laugh because he's in P2 and he's chasing for Wauno on slightly superior tires. He's in a very good spot, Jensen.
Yep.
Because everyone else who made the same strategy call is way down on him. It's Julian, Copy, P6 and P7. Pretorius did the same, so he's in P3. But Pretorius went for the softs, so...
Yeah, Pretorius also in a very good position, and he's going to get the undercut on the medium tyres. Jensen, of course, will be fast at the end of the race on the softs. Whereas Pretorius will have a little bit of an advantage now, and when he puts the medium tyres on, he'll have an advantage as well. So it'll be an interesting finish between those two. But yeah, Julian and Copy, as you mentioned, Julian did get the move done on Copy, but both of them are stuck behind Ocean Chief at the moment. Probably not for too much longer, though.
Push is bullying Astro a little. We've got yellow flags, and it is NJJ who has spun in the penultimate turn. Is off track, so...
Popo having a go up the inside of Copy. Popo on the soft tyres, Copy on the hards. Copy managing to defend for the time being, but that's cost him quite a lot of time.
That won't last, I think. Even though he's got open DRS, Popo will certainly outbreak him here because he's got more grip, but not enough, though. So he has to keep to the tight line, and he almost did the Spinala there. In the style
almost did the Vettel. Yeah, absolutely.
Look very much alike. But this time the Ferrari is not the one who spins. The Ferrari is the one who's hungry for the guy who almost spun, because Bants is sitting behind Popo, and he's quick too. Looks like he's picked up quite some pace, as Astro's now down into P12 and about to lose to Light Cruiser. So
yeah, Astro.
Yeah, Julian has definitely completely destroyed Astro's shot at anything here. I think this is probably going to end in some sort of FIA action.
Yep, I think that's reasonably likely. We've got Julian on the back of Toto now, two Dutchmen fighting out over P4. Julian with the tyre advantage, of course, and Jensen up front is closing now on Wow, and Pretorius is out of DRS range, as Julian wants the DRS.
Yeah.
So he decides to wait for it.
Oh wow, he's almost shoving him around the corner here.
Yep, absolutely.
It's very close, a lot of confidence in the car and in the net code as well. And he's getting rewarded. Copy also
on Ocean
finally
Chief.
Passed Ocean Chief. And that is P6 for him. Like Cruiser's past Astro Boys, and Danny is out of Costa. Penalty for Bants.
Yep, so the field just about starting to shuffle itself into some sort of shape, as Bants just pokes his nose up the inside there of Popo, but nothing doing there, and as you mentioned, he got the 3-second penalty as well. So just taking stock here, we got the front three certainly will have to pit again. We're not sure about Julian, we're not sure about Copy. So maybe those two, if they can get those tyres to last, then maybe that was why Copy was not in any particular hurry to get past Popo. Maybe he's just looking after the tyres, because that might be all he needs to do to win this race. He'll have a bit of a chase down towards the end. Jensen and Wow both will be pitting, I would imagine, within the next 5 or so laps.
You think... oh, Toto runs wide there.
Yeah, Toto with 3 seconds.
If you say like Copy's like a horror movie villain. If he doesn't even bother running, then you know you're in trouble.
Yep, very
That might
possibly.
be a thing.
As pitting is Wow from the lead, so Wow onto the hard tyres already. Seems quite early for me. Maybe didn't want to be held up by being overtaken by Jensen. As Danny unfortunately retires, so Danny, after a very good qualifying, saw his race fall apart a little bit. But he'll be back. He's certainly got good pace at the moment, so I'm sure he will be back. And yeah, just wondering about Popo's DRS, because yeah, he's not using battery at all according to my screen. I think that is a bug. And I think it's the same bug that we had in qualifying where it showed him on the soft tyres for me, but he was actually on medium. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to that.
Well, I mean, he is driving on... What do you mean he's not using any for you?
He's on 100% all the time, and he's on 0 ERS.
Okay, for me he's on 0 ERS, but it slowly went up to 100 as I was watching.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that is. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, and I'm pretty sure he's actually using all of the things that he is able to use as far as he knows.
Don't know. No, for me he's changing it.
Yeah, no, it's always on 0 for me, and I'm sure it's a bug.
Okay. So, but the actual picture is not very much different from the bugged one you have, because he is on 95% most times.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. He does have a full battery, so he is contesting. Yeah, Danny.
Well, I mean, he was nowhere anyway.
Danny went off a while ago, unfortunately. So that's the end of his afternoon, as far as this race is concerned. Join us after this race, of course. We have Assetto Corsa coming from 2SRL as Cockpit goes up the inside, and Bants sends one as well up the inside.
No! Tags Ocean Chief's rear.
Yeah.
But luckily there's no punctures in this game for that kind of contact, so Ocean Chief will be able to continue having a nice day up in P6. And he's actually, I want to give a shout out to Ocean Chief. He's keeping up with Toto here, and we know that Toto is quite quick. He's it's not like Ocean Chief is just dropping completely.
Yeah, I mean
he's holding his own.
He's in a good position for some points here. He stayed in this DRS train for a little while, and that's benefited him a lot. He's starting on the hard tyres. He's going to go onto the medium tyres towards the end of the race. He'll be faster then. So good stuff from Ocean Chief. Good performance from him so far. Gap up front, 2.7 now between Jensen and Pretorius. Pretorius will have hoped to stay in the wheel tracks of the Haas ahead of him, but not really been able to do it. And now the soft tyres are certainly past their best, and he's going to want to be putting on the mediums within the next few laps, or even the hards in the next few laps.
As Astro gets a penalty for himself, that's...
Oh, he's pitting now, is Pretorius.
Nice, yeah, Pretorius 8 laps, that sounds about right, yeah.
So,
I think that's...
So going on the hards, I would imagine.
Yes.
And Jensen will have to stretch those medium tyres. He doesn't have a fresh set of mediums, does he? And in fact, he started on mediums, so he can't put another set of mediums on. He will need to go for either the hards or the softs.
Yeah, I think he actually would have been better off had he gone for softs just like Pretorius did, because the soft strategy would have just brought him to the end with the hards, and this is this means he's not using the hard set fully to its full potential, and has been driving on softs on mediums instead of softs for a while. So maybe that was a mistake. Yeah, very possibly. And just to see where people have come out of the pits, Wow has come out in the lead of those who've just pitted, and he's 1.8 now, 2.0 ahead of Pretorius. Pretorius with the slight tyre advantage though, but he does have to warm those hard tyres up. So on board Are there any on-track battles going on? I see that Huene is very close to Light Cruiser.
Yep, I think he is.
Ocean Chief and Toto are still running right with each other.
Yep, Ocean Chief doing a grand job there. Just staying in DRS of Toto. Toto doesn't have DRS now, so Ocean can pretty much conserve his battery as far as he is concerned. Staying on those hard tyres, and he doesn't need to do too much. He's going to have DRS once again. So he goes down the main straight. Jensen pits from the lead, so Jensen probably is going on the hard tyres. Yes, he is. So Jensen will have the 1 lap overcut on... who was it? Pretorius. Did something happen to Pretorius? No, he's still there. But
yeah,
Jensen has come out ahead of Wow. So Jensen is in the lead of this race as far as those who are pitted are concerned.
Yeah, the question will be, I mean, this could go 2 ways, and basically the question is, has Jensen got to close in 15 seconds on the others now, or will their tires drop and they will have to pit again, which would mean that they would be behind Jensen again. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
And well, one is obviously favorable for Julian, Copy, and like the other one is what Jensen will hope for, because otherwise he might have played himself on the strategy. He certainly had very good pace, so it'd be a shame to throw that away through strategy blunder.
Well, the situation for him is that he is 15 seconds behind the lead and there are 15 laps to go, so don't need to be a nuclear physicist to work out exactly what he has to do. It's a second a lap from here to the end of the race if he wants to catch those guys, and he certainly has the tyres to do it, and we know from Jensen that he has the ability to do it as well.
The question is, does he have the ability to do it against the likes of Julian? I don't know. I mean, Julian is super quick. He's also out-qualified him, so I kind of doubt it. But I'll keep my eyes at the lap times, and I'll update you when something moves there to see how much he's gaining per lap. Pretorius has finally done what he was longing to do for the last laps. He has passed Basketinho, and JJ gets a penalty, but he's all the way down in last anyway. Also, second to last is Astro Boys, and that kind of pains me because he was in a good spot. He was in P4. He could have, he could have contested for high points, and then that crash with Julian happened.
Yeah, unfortunately. So Astro Boys is not going to score, I don't think, any points today, but certainly.
Oh, that was certainly not on stream, but the Tarasov Costa almost just wiped his teammate out.
Oh dear.
As a defendant from Tipsy Bob. He almost locked up into his teammate, but nothing happened, so it's good. But that was a moment. Yellows, and it is Astro who has spun and he's retired.
Yep, so Astro has decided to call it a day. Unfortunately, it was a very promising start to the race for him with that safety car, but yeah, all fell apart a little bit, and our Australian race winner not going to be scoring any points as Toto pits from third, so he is going to put the medium tyres on, I would assume. That promotes Ocean Chief into P3. Jensen does the fastest lap of the race on those fresh hards.
Very nice lap. I'll check the lap time of Jensen and Julian. So Julian did a 31.6. Okay.
Well, that was a 30.9, wasn't it, from Jensen?
Yeah, so that's like 7/10.
Yeah, that's not a second though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. He'll close rapidly. The problem will just be that a second is a little unrealistic. Oh, Toto comes out in the 3 wide between the two Toro Rossos and the Renault of Tipsy Bob. And they're still running side by side. And Tipsy has passed both of them, so he's kind of on his own recovery drive, but he has to pit again. So it's just a drop on the hot stone.
Yep, absolutely right. As Light Cruiser now looking at the back of the Alfa Romeo of Ocean Chief. Ocean Chief no longer has DRS, of course, so he's not going to be able to get that free lap time from Toto that he was getting before, but Light Cruiser is going to be past him soon, I would have thought. Ocean will be thinking about doing a pit stop as well, to go either onto the softs or onto the mediums. Probably the mediums at this point in the race.
Yeah, mediums will be what he's going to put on, but he's staying out for another lap, so I don't know, I wouldn't have done that. I would have pitted to first of all make sure come out around where Toto is, and also don't lose time to Light Cruiser and Hueni, who are behind him and who are quicker than him. So I mean, getting past always costs you a little time. You obviously can't drive the way you really want to drive. Toto's retired. Well, okay, Toto's not a concern of him anymore.
Oh dear.
I'll ride on board with NJJ. Maybe I find what happened to him. But that's a weird place to retire. I don't know. He's retired in the penultimate corner.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. So Toto, unfortunately, is out of the races. Who was that? Was that Ocean Chief almost losing it on traction out of the hairpin?
Ocean Chief, yeah. I mean, he just came out of the hairpin, so it was probably him. He's not behind 20.
Yep, it certainly was him. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he'll know how good a shape his tires are in, but he is in a pretty good position at the moment. There are a bunch of other cars. There's one other car, Bascodino, behind him, who is looking like he's going to need to pit again, but we're not sure. We remain unsure about the front four in this race. Jensen is homing in on the back now of Ocean Chief in that Alfa Romeo. He is on fresh tyres, and he at the moment is one of the fastest men on track on those hard tyres. Julian pits. So Julian didn't think that he could make it to the end of the race on those hard tyres.
That's basically flips the game on its head, because before it was, he kind of got held there. Oh, never mind, that's a lag.
Yeah.
I had a very laggy pit stop there. That flips the game on its head, because it was Jensen on quicker tires trying to hunt down Julian, and now it's exactly the opposite. But Julian will not only have to pass Jensen, he also has Pretorius and Wow in his way, because those two are definitely making the end of the race, as well as Jensen. So he needs to overcome all three of them if he wants to win. But he's massively quick. He is 11 seconds or 10 seconds off of Jensen.
Yep.
So that's basically exactly the same equation. He needs
a second a lap. Absolutely right.
But fresh mediums against used hards, that's a little more realistic. By my estimates, it will probably cost him that he has to overtake Pretorius and Wow.
Well,
but
Jensen
we'll
up the
see.
inside of
Yellow,
Ocean
please
Chief.
don't be Ocean
Tipsy
Chief.
is
No, it's not
retired. No,
Ocean
Tipsy
Chief.
is retired.
Oh no.
Jensen passed Ocean Chief there in the left-hander, so Jensen up to P4 on track at the moment. Of course, Ocean will have to pit imminently, I would have thought. VSC now. That's interesting timing for a VSC.
Oh, that's
is Copy
NJJ
going?
has crashed and he's lost a tire.
Oh dear, so NJJ's crashed. Copy is pitting under VSC. So this is crucial for this race.
God.
Copy now is going to be able to put fresh tyres on, and he's going to lose so much less time in the pit stop. The front three, all of them pitting. This is awful news for Jensen, who is going to be in the lead of this race.
You know, he also profits off of this massively. Ocean Chief.
Ocean Chief as well. Yep, he pits.
He'll be held by Iweini.
Oh no, he has to wait, doesn't he? So Ocean Chief is going to be held, so it's unfortunate for him. But yeah, Jensen and Wow both have now, well, there's 10 laps to go. Julian is the lead runner, who has pitted recently. So Julian ahead of Bascodino, who's about a second ahead of Copy on fresh softs. So Copy on the softs, a 10 lap stint to the end of the race. That's going to be difficult for him to manage, but certainly that VSC will have helped him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he had some worries about his tires, some concerns that he was going to make it towards the end. He would have pitted otherwise. VSC has already ended, of course, so Copy is now on the back of Bascodino. Bascodino is on 15-lap-old soft tires. Bascodino... Wait, why hasn't Bascodino pitted?
15-lap-old hard tires.
Oh, what did I say?
Softs. I think he's trying to go to the end of the race. I'm not sure. No, he can't be trying to go to the end of the race. Yeah, he should have pitted there. I don't know why he didn't.
Yeah. And Wow gets a penalty.
Oh, Wow with a penalty. So 3 seconds for Wow. That's pretty crucial up at the sharp end of the grid.
Yeah, Jensen sits on a single warning. Wow with the penalty just got Pretorius without a warning. Julian has 2 warnings and a warning for a collision. A Copy without warnings. So yeah, that's how it looks right now.
Yep.
Not a lot of penalties. I mean, it's pretty hard to get penalties at Bahrain.
Yep,
I'll say
it is.
myself, after having lost a position to a penalty last race.
So Julian needs to go a bit faster than he just went the last lap. He was half a second faster than Jensen. He needs to be faster than that.
That's not enough.
It's not enough at all.
Yeah, that doesn't even cover for the fact that he's on a softer compound. That in itself should gain him more than that.
Yep.
So I think he might very well be in trouble. A podium is still likely because I don't see Pretorius hanging on to this for another 8 laps, but the victory, the top step or the podium, looks like it's going to be a long shot.
Yeah, and of course we're pending FIA review as well, so Julian, there'll be a question mark hanging over him at the end of the race. Did he get a bit of oversteer there? What happened to Julian? He's obviously trying very hard and maybe trying a little bit too hard in that racing point. Following Pretorius, he will have DRS this time though.
Yeah, it's questionable. He arguably should have won last race, but he had 2 major incidents happen to him. One of them was a racing incident with Speedy, and the other one was quite the weird one where his game didn't show him the starting lines properly, so he had to stand for 3 more laps, minutes. Oh my god, seconds! Talking is hard, isn't it? Julian passes Pretorius though. There's no
and behind
fight
him,
back.
Copy with the fastest lap of the race. That's not fast enough either though, so Copy and Julian, even with that VSC, don't look like they are going to overhaul these 2 leaders. Jensen and Wow look like they played the strategy perfectly, and it might be that they are going to reap the rewards. Julian, though, going to be trying his best. Yeah, he's 4/10 up in the first sector with the DRS, so Julian going to be trying everything to get in range of those guys. 8 laps to go at Bahrain.
Another sad message I have to tell you is the reason why Toto retired was that the game put him on hards, even though he put mediums on for the strats, so he was on hards and then hards, so he decided to retire himself because, well, I mean, I understand it. I couldn't be bothered just being gifted a 20-second stop for nothing. That's very frustrating indeed. Yeah,
that's unfortunate for Toto, so showed good pace in this race, but unfortunately to no avail as far as he was concerned. Popo and Bascodinho, that was
quite the move.
Looked like a brave move around the outside of the right-hander there. Only caught the end of it, but certainly that was quite something.
Yeah, Wayne just had to catch another end. That was very close on losing it, and now he almost hits the rear of Bascodinho. Yep. The question is, can he get him? Because Bascodinho will certainly have DRS on Popo. But I think Quayle is close enough. He's getting more. Oh, never mind. He doesn't have ERS, so
well, he had enough, but he wasn't using it as Bascodinho. Goes deep.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Bascodinho. His rear looked very alive there.
Yeah, just no traction. I think Quenny has to send one here, and he does. Into turn 3, so he gets that move done quite easily. A little bit of a squeeze on the exit there. Basco fighting it maybe a little bit harder than he should have.
Wow, I think he just rear-ended him,
yeah, I think he did as well. Basco having a look up the inside. You don't want to be doing that, Basco.
Oh, no,
3 seconds for Julian.
Yeah, I think that's almost a nail in the coffin. He wasn't quick enough right now anyway, but with the 3 seconds, I don't think that's just going to happen. And yeah, Bascodinho's car is kind of like a animal that has been shot, because the tires are very much getting closer to death every second, but the car gets more lively and tries to struggle, moves a lot.
Yep, certainly does. He's fighting this hard against Hueni, and Hueni has fallen off the back now of Popo, which is bad news as far as he's concerned. But maybe with DRS this time he can do it. He's got plenty of battery as well. Oh dear!
Oh no! He absolutely broke himself then! I mean, yeah, I was going to compliment him about the fact that he does so well with that line, but that's also what he used this line for, finding breaking points.
Yeah.
And if you just about found a breaking point that isn't the racing line, and then you're so close behind another driver, you have to adjust in a way, and he failed doing that. And also what I was going to say is, who is going to die in the top 10? Ocean Chief is in P12 while now he's in P11.
Yep, so unfortunately it's Hueni who pays the price for that little mistake. Just different braking points there, of course, with different grip levels. Perhaps not taking account of the fact that Bascodinho was on the very old hard tyres, and Hueni is forced into the mistake. And yeah, that is the end of his race. So no points for Hueni. It's been a very creditable debut for him in Tier 1, but unfortunately he's going to come away empty-handed.
Two people that are definitely not going to come away empty-handed are Wow and Jensen. And Jensen thinks he can carry more because he is closing in on Jensen. He is like 0.2 a lap quicker, and with a range of a second, like just about a second, if he does the same next lap, he'll be in DRS, and that will get him closer and closer. Maybe he can challenge. He's now within the second. He'll get DRS on the short straight, I imagine. Maybe Jensen is just like kind of letting him come closer. Does Wow have a penalty?
Wow does have a penalty. Yeah, he does. As Copy passes Pretorius, outbraking into turn 1 around the outside. But yeah, Jensen out of battery as well. In fact, they're both on pretty similar battery levels, looking at it again. But yeah, Wow is very fast.
I imagine Jensen's checked penalties and he's kind of letting him come closer, because there's no real point over pushing the car when you can just, you know, cruise home, because he's not going to overtake you and then get 3 seconds on you unless you make a dumb mistake, and the likelihood of that is not that high if you don't give your fullest. So I think Jensen is trying to manage this race lead. Is Julian even going to finish on the podium? Because
it's an open question. 3.6 is the gap. Copy's tyres will be going soon, though. It's a long time to go on the soft tyres. 10 laps of Bahrain. So it might be that he's not able to do that. We'll have to wait and see. By the way, I think Basco is trying to go to the end on those hard tyres. He's done 20 laps on them so far. And I don't know if they are going to hang on the remaining 4 or 5 laps that he's going to need. 4 laps that he's going to need them for. So we'll keep an eye on that. He's being reeled in at the moment by Bants, who's quite a lot faster on quite a lot better tyres. Wow, now solidly in DRS though, half a second behind. Does Push have penalties? We don't know.
I'll check.
Okay. Yeah, we will see if Push has penalties.
I don't think he does. No, he's on 2 warnings, but the first one is on lap 1, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. There might as well be a collision warning. Ocean Chief is completely without any warnings though, so that's
good stuff from Ocean. Yeah, having a very solid race, and he is going to get points, I think, at the end of it as well. Because certainly Bants ahead of him has penalties. Has 1 penalty, I think. So Ocean Chief on those soft tyres. And Bascodinho's tyres, I really don't think they're going to last. This is going to be a 25 lap stint. I think he's going to get a puncture.
Yeah,
we'll wait and see.
I think he's the last guy to to give way for the old man who's coming through.
I think that's quite likely. So Bascodinho really struggling.
Wow will line Jensen up for a pass for the lead here. But I don't think Jensen will do much about it. Yeah, it's just open DRS and it's a sealed deal. And Jensen will just hang back with the DRS. Not much excitement in that one, as it doesn't really count. I think Jensen has got 1 warning, so yeah. Yeah,
well, he's got plenty of battery. The only question is whether Wow can try and maybe break the DRS and get himself 3 seconds. But that's a tall order. He would need a mistake to do that. From Jensen.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen.
No, I don't think so either.
Jensen is just too much in control of this. I believe that Jensen could have stayed ahead of Wow towards for the full rest of the race, had he really pushed and given his hardest. I think at some point when Wow had his penalty, he just let it drop. And Bascodinho is now very much in trouble. He's past P8 onto Bants, and Push is the next who's going to try and get ahead of him. But Bascodinho got a penalty. Oh, he actually does. So Bascodinho is out of Ocean Chief. No, the other.
Behind Ocean Chief,
Ocean Chief is very close to been ahead of Bascadinho.
Yep, and I think
so there's your P10.
I think he's going to be ahead of him before the end of the race as well. Did you say that Push had penalties?
No, he didn't.
He didn't, okay.
He has 2 warnings, and one of them was on lap 1, so it might be a collision.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see whether he gets that penalty. But yeah, Ocean Chief is coming, but certainly at the moment he is not able to reel these guys in. He's his soft tyres will have seen better days, but as Push gets himself a penalty. There it is. So
yeah, I saw that he got some snap oversteer and had to go off on the second to
the long right-hander. Yeah.
End of sector 2, and yeah, that's actually Ocean Chief in P9.
Yep.
Provisional P9, isn't it?
Yep, it certainly is. Push is going to have to pass Bascodinho here as well. The front 2 laps to go. The front 2 look like they are set. Wow is going to finish behind Jensen on penalties. Julian's going to finish 3rd. Copy, we think, is going to finish 4th as Push pokes his nose up the inside. That's not very advisable.
Yeah, maybe he'll try to outbrake him because Bascadinho is obviously struggling, and he shoves him through that corner, but they are still side by side coming into sector 2 now. Who will Bascadinho yield? No, he keeps fighting on. Has a look on the outside, hits the death curb. It's not death though, but it was close to being. That was uncomfortable to watch. And Ocean Chief is he's got both of them within 2.5 seconds, and he hasn't got a single warning. So great drive from him, and looks like he'll reap the rewards.
Yeah, it looks like it.
The leader's coming across for the last time before the end of the race, and it is 0.4 seconds. Yeah, I think it happened what I thought would happen. Maybe Jensen will even try something on the DRS stage just to win on track and on paper. I don't know. Sounds like a thing Jensen might do.
Oh, had a little bit of a look, but yeah, no move to be done there. We'll keep our eyes on these 2. But yeah, behind it does look like Ocean Chief is going to get himself 2 points today.
Yeah, no P10 yet. He finished, I think, P13 last time, but today the DNF list is quite a bit long, and now we're on the final DRS straight of the race for the race leaders, and I don't think Jensen is going to do anything. His run out of the corner wasn't particularly stunning, so looks like he's going to hang back and watch Wow take victory on the track and drive to the number 1 sign in Parc Fermé, nonetheless.
I don't know. I was going to have to defend here into the last corner. That
was quite the move, and Jensen does it for the show, I think. He tries to break him. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. Left him a lot of space, and they're running side by side. This would be an exciting photo finish if there wasn't this penalty, and that's going to play out.
DRS not quite enough for him.
Yeah, that was actually very close in the end.
Yeah, but, so Jensen does win. Wow. Finishes 3 seconds behind with the 3-second penalty. They cross the line side by side. Is Ocean Chief going to get P9 or P10? He's going to have a good couple of corners here because he is right on the cusp between himself and Push. The others finish in order. Julian 3rd, Copy 4th. Pretorius, Light Cruiser, Popo 5th, 6th and 7th. Bants, I think, is going to finish 8th. Not sure what his penalty situation is. He crosses the line. Push finishes just behind Bascodinho, and Ocean does indeed get himself P9 and 2 points for Ocean Chief, finishing behind that Bants on the scorecard today. So that is your Bahrain Grand Prix. Jensen wins it from Wow, and Julian with his 2nd consecutive 3rd place finish.
That was quite the race. I must admit, commenting that was a little bit of a challenge. There was so many different strategies
there were
to keep track of. I was quite overwhelmed. It was a very good race in the end, just also because of a lot of chaos that was going on, and in the end Jensen is victorious. Didn't show up last race, but this race he won it, and the guy who won the last Grand Prix in Australia, Astro Boys, did not finish, so both will be equal on 25 points. I don't know who will take the lead in the championship. Julian will be at like 30 points.
Julian's at, well, Julian I think does take the lead. Then he's on 30 with those
Yeah.
two 15-point finishes.
Yeah, Copy, where did he finish last time? P2, right?
Yeah, so he'll be on 30 as well in that case.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wow, having been close to winning last time, but he didn't. He died in Sector 3 of Australia. And after that race...
Who are we going to give driver of the day to? Yeah.
Who is driver of the day? Last week we had quite an easy job, just calling out the race winner, and honestly, I think that is probably what we should do again. I think.
Well, I think there are two contenders for me. I think Jensen is certainly one of them, but I think Ocean Chief does deserve, at the very least, an honourable mention, and I think he's. I think I might. I don't know. It's close between those two, for me. I don't know who I'd give it to.
I'm. This feels very bad to be that kind of person, but I think it's probably. I think it.
You want to give it to Jensen?
More. Yeah, I kind of want to.
Okay.
I mean, Ocean Chief has had an outstanding drive, but I think like the retirement list is long, and I mean that kind of bumps up the result of Ocean Chief. Well, I think Jensen just made no mistake all race long. It was quite the spectacular fashion. He managed to outwit his opponents on the strategy, and he managed to outdo them on track as well. So I think he deserves it, but Ocean Chief is worth an honorable mention. I just think that Jensen probably did a better job.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. So Jensen is our driver of the day. He was the race winner as well, and he was talking in Gentleman's Lounge as we dragged him in. Sorry, Jensen.
Once again.
Once again.
Once again.
Yes.
So yeah, you are the race winner. You were also our driver of the day today. That was a fantastic drive in slightly unusual circumstances with the safety car.
Yeah, I was really happy that I make the right call. But of course, you only know you make the right call after a few laps. So it was when I started catching Wow, and I knew he had to pit as well, and earlier than me to the hard tire, and I had reasonably good mediums left. I knew I could overcut him with a few laps. Yeah, and I saw Julian destroy his wing in turn 1, so I was like, bingo, that one is gone. Yeah, and I overtook Copy on the inside of that turn, I think, in turn 1, and I don't know what happened to Copy furthermore, but yeah, it was really intense. I really liked the passive battle Wow and I had. Every sector it was or him a tenth faster, and then I was a tenth faster. Yeah, and in the end, he had a little bit more pace, maybe a tenth a lap or something. And I checked in lap 24. I was like, well, let's just check if he has a penalty. I wasn't thinking he had one, but just in case. And then I heard he had a 3-second penalty. And then finally I could relax. So he was in my DRS, so I just turned my ERS off, and I was like, save battery, don't get warnings and stuff, and just follow him. And yeah, the last lap I was still trying to come over the finish SP1. I wanted to win it on track, but he had 2 wheels in front of me, so good job to him as well.
Yeah,
it certainly upped your showmanship.
Yeah. I don't like winning passive, but yeah, in this case, it was the right thing to do, to just turn the battery down and don't get any warnings.
Yeah, it certainly made sense. What were you thinking when the VSC came out, just as Copy and Julian were about to pit? Were you worried that they were going to gain time from that?
No, because I was in the last corner already, so maybe they gained a few seconds, maybe 5 or 6, because the VSC was ending when I was just at the straight, and I was 1.5 seconds. I had 1.5 seconds buffer for my VSC delta, so I lost a little bit of extra time there as well. But no, I was not worried. I thought maybe they gain 5 seconds or something like that, but they will still be 15 seconds behind us with 10 laps to go. And I just knew that my pace was very constant and sharp. So I didn't worry. I thought maybe they would get into a few seconds of us at the end, but definitely not for the victory.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, Copy saying in chat that he pitted under VSC and didn't gain any time. I guess it just didn't last long enough then, because it didn't.
Okay, then,
Yeah.
yeah, because they were really entering the pits and then it was exiting, then it was ending. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, unfortunately for him, but
yeah.
I was just lucky that I decided to go for new mediums after 5 laps and could pit 3 or 4 laps later than WoW. I think that gave me the track position for most of the race.
Were you worried that they might not pit at all?
And I knew that Copy pitted in the same lap as me under the safety car. Yeah, and I knew he was on hards, and of course, I was thinking for 2 laps. I was a little bit doubting because I've practiced with Copy this week. I think he is quite nice on his tires and decent with them, but yeah, I was like, no way he can make those hards last for 24 laps. And if he tries, I'm sure I will have a massive tire advantage.
Yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. It was certainly an interesting race to watch from our perspective. We weren't quite sure what was going to happen, but yeah, you certainly made the right call.
It was still a relief though, to see 3 dots entering the pits. I was like, finally my P1 is back.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the race win. That puts you in, I think, joint third in the championship as far as we have managed to work out. So
hey, not bad for one race.
yeah, for having missed a race, that's pretty good. Any shout outs you want to give before we move on to the others?
Yeah, just to WoW. He kept me on edge every lap. So yeah, we really enjoyed the battle, which really wasn't a battle, but still we really pushed each other forward, I think, and that's a good thing for Tier 1.
Yeah, good stuff. Absolutely. Well, thanks for the interview and congratulations on the race win. I'll drag you back into the Gentleman's Lounge. And let's bring in Mr. Wow then, who Jensen gave a shout out to on stream for being a really good competitor, and that was a very good race in the end. Wow, after a pretty good qualifying, but it was again the strategy call that you made, the same as Jensen, in fact, that really got you the position there.
Well, thank you first of all, but I think I didn't do the same strategy as Jensen because I did it 1 stop and he did it 2 stop, I believe.
Oh, that's right, because yeah, you stayed out the first time. Yeah, sorry.
I stayed out.
Yeah. No,
but yeah, it was still a quite intense race. Yeah.
How I guess the penalty was what decided it in the end. Even on the older hard tires, you had really good pace on Jensen though.
I think so. Maybe he just relaxed a bit too much in the last few laps as he realized that I have a penalty, so he didn't try to push it all the way. But
yeah, he said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. But it was still quite enjoyable to catch up to a guy with newer tires or better tires.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a great feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your pace was very strong indeed. But so I mean, 2 races so far in SLR. I mean, I think you're still technically a reserve, right? You've been in 2 different cars, but certainly in both races you were right at the very sharp end. Do you have plans to do more of these races?
Yeah, of course. If I have the time to attend the races, I will join and will do my best to keep out the front guys and be at the front.
Fantastic. Are you thinking you might compete for the championship?
Oof. Well, it's early in the season. I mean, there are tracks coming which I'm not really good at, for sure. But I will try to challenge it. At least be in the top 5. Say it that way.
Yeah, cool. Well, certainly you've done that so far, and your pace has been pretty spectacular. So it's been really good to have you in SLR.
I see it, yeah. And a pleasure to be here.
Cool. That's good to hear. So yeah, congratulations on the P2, and yeah, I'll drag you back into the Gentleman's Lounge, and we'll speak to the third placed finisher today, Julian, who again really good pace from Julian, but maybe just that one mistake on the restart, Julian, that cost you in this race.
Yeah, I guess you could say that it was a mistake. It was just really stupid, in my opinion, from myself.
What happened?
I was defending from Jensen behind me, I believe it was, in the house, and I was completely on the inside, so he couldn't have the opportunity to dice bomb. And in doing so, I was looking behind, and then as soon as I looked back, I was already too far, so I braked immediately, but it was already far too late. So
I see.
I just completely smashed into Astro Boys, and I think Toto as well. So I'm really sorry to these guys. Astro is actually mad at me, which I understand. I would be mad at someone doing that as well to me. It's hard to make him mad. So when you get him mad, you know that you've done something really terribly wrong, and I knew it right away. So I waited as well. But yeah, of course, when you completely smash into someone, it's not going to be enough to just wait. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
expecting at least a 20-second penalty, maybe even more, because that was just terrible from me there.
Well, it's really unfortunate. I mean, it happens in racing, but you've certainly shown some really good pace and some really good racecraft in the first couple of races. It's been really fun to watch. Are you thinking? What are you thinking about the championship? We think you're leading the championship, certainly provisionally at the moment.
Yeah,
after
provisionally, because
Yeah,
I'm probably dropping back quite a bit after the penalties. I don't really want to say anything yet because I'm not a full-time driver yet. But compared to the other drivers, I think I'm right up there for at least podium places every race. So if I can just keep that going, then why not?
Yep, cool. No, good to hear. And yeah, we certainly hope to see. I mean, are you planning to do the whole season? Is that's your plan at the moment?
I'm planning to do the entire season, yeah, with a few exceptions, of course, when I can't race. But apart from those, I'm intending to do the entire thing.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's really good to have you in SLR, and you've certainly entertained us. So well done on the third place today. And yeah, obviously, maybe with penalties, we'll have to wait and see. But
yeah.
But congratulations, and yeah, we'll hope to see you in here a little bit more often in the future. I'll drag you back into the gentleman's lounge.
Thank you.
So let's speak then finally to the other contender we had for driver of the day. He was just pipped at the post, unfortunately, thanks to Thimo. I was championing your driver of the day cause there, Ocean.
Runs away.
But it was Thimo who was the big bad wolf that said no, it should go to Jensen instead.
You're an incredible traitor.
He just wants me to earn it real bad, like to me. I think we should get rid of Thimo though. Really, that's the answer to that problem. No, yeah, I had a great race. I don't know. It was one of those races where you don't really, you can't process it until afterwards. So I'm gonna have to watch it again, and because the strategy, I don't know if I got the strategy right. I might have, yeah, because I double stacked with Huini under the virtual safety car. I thought at the time it was like the obvious choice, but I didn't actually pay attention to Huini pitting. And I only saw him as I came up to the pit. I think it maybe cost me maybe 5 seconds maximum.
Yeah.
So maybe a few positions, but yeah, I was surprised when it came out. I was P12, and I was thinking, oh dear, this went from really good to really bad really quickly. And I just had Joel in in voice chat just give me
as a crew chief. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ice isn't here today, obviously. So he was I was like, tell me what the delta is, just keep me, posted on this interval. And it was just creeping down, and then Bascadino started coming towards me, and then Push got a penalty, and I was like, right, it's on. So I just pushed like really, really hard the whole soft stint, and yeah, got P9, so happy enough.
Yeah, and Thimo told us that you didn't have even a single warning. So I mean, were you driving within yourself? What was the It looked very clean from what I saw. Actually, we saw the one mistake where you were passed by Hueni, I think, out of the right-hander on traction.
I'm pretty sure that was my, biggest mistake of the race, apart from pitting. And I don't even know if that was a mistake.
I'm not sure if that was a mistake. Yeah, I don't know exactly, because I know Copy said, and Copy was a little bit ahead of you on track, but Copy said that he pitted under the VSC and didn't really gain any time because the VSC ended too quickly.
To be fair, you had to pit anyway.
Yeah, but you had to pit anyway. So I mean, maybe you would have gotten a couple of extra seconds by waiting an extra lap or something like that. But I mean, I don't think it was a complete disaster. I think you know the time you lost was probably it was probably only a few seconds, if that.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt like I was driving within myself. I felt like I was pushing, whereas before I know I've gone, I'll just take it easy. I don't want to mess up here. I don't want to crash. This time I was actually just consistently putting the lap times in and trying to keep the good pace. And I think measuring myself against the likes of Copy that was behind me for a while, I was like, I must be doing something right because I'm staying ahead of him. Usually it's just you get that sinking feeling. I know there was a 2 SRL race where it was P3 after a safety car, and as soon as the safety car went in, it was just like I just felt like it was going backwards. Whereas this time I felt like I was able to actually, for the most part, hold my own. I knew they would get me eventually, but I felt the longer I can hold them off, the better. And then if I can just hold onto their DRS, I can do some damage then,
Yeah, well, I think that's what I saw you behind Toto for a lot of that first stint, and you were just conserving battery using the DRS. It was textbook stuff, really. So I mean, fantastic, really good performance. So Ocean Chief back in the points.
Toto, I don't know what happened to Toto. Can you?
So so he said that he got switched to the hard tires when he wanted to go onto either the mediums or the softs, and then decided that was because they were used hard tires as well because he'd used them in qualifying. So that was effectively the end of his race. Because he was on the wrong tire, so really unfortunate for him.
Yeah. Oh well, you live to fight another day. Toto will be back, I'm sure. But it was a great race. I hear Wow and Jensen it was like a photo finish almost.
Well, it was. I mean, there were penalties, which meant it wasn't really a photo finish. But they crossed the line side by side.
Wow, that's what you want,
it's certainly entertaining. I mean, it was entertaining to watch with all the different strategies going back and forth. And all of that stuff. So we got a safety car in there, and whenever that happens, it tends to spice things up a bit.
Yeah, I usually go into panic mode. I'm like, what do I do? And Jules going, I don't know.
Yeah,
shouting at each other for a while, but
I think most people do go into panic mode. That's why it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, because it really compromised my strategy, of the hard tire stint. I'm just gonna go 20 laps pretty much on the hard tire, and then the safety cars lap 6, and you're going. You could go on to two mediums maybe, and do that. And I just felt, I'll just go ahead and just see how it goes. Because I know the mediums and the hards, there's not much difference between them. So I felt, I should be able to do all right on the hards. It's not like I'm compromised too much. I think that was the right strategy at that point. Stay on the hards, stay out, try to stay ahead of these fast guys for a while.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. So I just want to, last thing I'll say is shout out to Joel, crew chief. This one's for you, my man. And Ice, if you're watching, P9. He was saying all week, "Come on, man, you got to get some points. I'll not be there." So I was like, I don't know, man. It's going to be pretty hard with this field. And
well, I mean, there were points that were earned on merit as well. It was fantastic to see. So
there was some luck today, but at the same time, I do think I earned that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much I perspired during that.
Well, I think that probably wraps it up for this stream, and I think we are going straight into the 2 SRL Assetto Corsa race. I believe. Are you? I actually don't know. Are you racing in that, or are you commentating?
Yes, it'll be me and Wimpy are commentating that race.
Fantastic.
So, we hope to have a good race in front of us for that one as well.
No one practiced.
Like Tipsy is looking pretty good. For
Tipsy's looking very good. Tipsy's the fastest. In practice. So it'll be a good one. So we'll try and provide you with some entertainment. I don't think either Thimo or I are particularly fast, so we might not be right at the might not be right at the sharp end. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think that wraps it up for the broadcast. So thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you to all of the drivers. Thank you as ever to my co-commentator Thimo and the league admin, Mr. Ocean Chief, is here as well. And is going to be on the mic for the next race. Join us for that. The stream will start probably in about 10 minutes time, however long it takes to get ourselves sorted out after this broadcast. So keep the channel on EGL. We'll see you, well, I won't see you, but Ocean Chief will see you along with Wimpy in a few minutes' time.